What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube and Rumble subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another New York Giants update video. I know it's been a while since the last one. I think the last update vid I had out was last week, but it's also, it's been a lull in terms of Giants news. Nothing much happening until yesterday, and I've been in school and whatnot doing my assignments. So yesterday, the Giants, we had a couple of things come out. I believe it was the first day of voluntary minicamp where the players had a chance to get their hands on the new playbooks for Brian Dable and Don Wink Martindale. Only a handful of players showed up. From the tweets that I saw, it was probably only like 8 or 9 of them. So, as you can guess from that, about 95% of the team wasn't there, which, it's okay because it's a very voluntary thing. And they are starting because we have a first-year head coach for, the first time in 2 years. It seems like we've been doing this every 2 years. But because we have a first-year head coach, the team is starting a couple weeks earlier than other NFL teams. So the players, their timeline probably isn't lined up yet. These players, they have off-season programs with trainers and, people whose jobs are being paid millions of dollars to make sure they're on a certain timeline. And with this being 2 weeks early, it could be that. It could be they just didn't want to show up. It's voluntary. It's not mandatory. I wouldn't say for you fans to take any type of serious, conclusion out of it, because we all know there are fans who look at it and look at players like Kadarius Toney, for example, who's only a rookie going into his second year now. And there's a lot of fans that already want to say, oh, he's not serious about the game because he's not going to a voluntary workout that only about 8 other players went to. So, let's just nip that in the bud before it gets going. And there was also Daniel Jones that showed up. I want to get into Daniel in the second half of this video because first I want to talk about the reworking of Adoree Jackson's contract. Now, this came as a little bit of a surprise to me, at least. I'm not sure if it came as a surprise to you guys, but Adoree Jackson was somebody that I thought whose contract was kind of going to remain untouched. Signed him last year. He was one of the 3 big free agent splashes that the Giants made. Came in from the Tennessee Titans. And Adoree had a really, really good year for the Giants. He's somebody that I think can hold down the fort for a year if, we do move on from Bradbury and we do not get somebody like a Sauce Gardner. I think that Adoree Jackson can hold down the fort. He wouldn't be as good as James Bradbury was, but he wouldn't be terrible either. In my opinion, he's one of the best number 2 corners out there because he actually performs like a lower end number 1 corner. But let's get into it. New York Giants general manager Joe Schoen is not a fan of restructuring contracts or adding void years in order to clear the salary cap space. He's frequently referred to it as a last resort. But with corner James Bradbury and running back Saquon Barkley still on the team, he was forced to make a difficult decision. On Monday, the Giants reworked the contract of Adoree Jackson, converting $8.965 million of his deal into signing bonus and adding a void year. This move clears $5.98 million in cap space. This is per Yahoo Sports. By the way, the article I'm getting you guys this from Dan Benton, and then there's the tweet here by Field Yates, which states the same. It says the G-Men were recently the only team in the league with under $1 million in cap space, so this frees up some flexibility. Now, something to note is that even though we have about 5.98, so let's call it $6 million more in cap space, that's still not enough for us to just sign our draft class, by the way. I'm not even sure if it's enough to cover the couple of veteran minimum signings that we've had over the past couple of weeks. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But we need probably about $10 million more to sign our draft class because as of right now, the Giants have not traded down. We saw the Philadelphia Eagles trade down yesterday, and it looks like the Giants are going to stay pat. We have 2 top 10 picks in the draft. Those 2 players alone are probably going to account for around $8 to $10 million of the, the rookie salaries. So thinking about that is kind of crazy. We do have to free up a lot more money here. Under the terms of the new contract, his 2023 cap hit will increase and $3 million in dead money will be added in 2024. On the plus side, Jackson is still a young and ideal fit for Wink Martindale's defensive system. He will be a main building block for the team, who expect him to improve after a solid 2022 campaign. And that's something else I'd like to bring up. I know Adoree has his fair share of injuries in his career, but I think he showed enough in 2021 to, you know, kind of be given a chance in 22 if once again we are forced to have him as the #1 corner. I don't think it would be the worst situation possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility that he improves, not out of the realm of possibility that he even shines in Wink's system. We'll see how it goes. You know, of course, another player that I think definitely will shine in Wink's system is Xavier McKinney, and maybe I'll do a whole video on Xavier by himself. But we have something to look forward to with the players already here in our secondary. Now moving on to Daniel Jones, the quarterback of the Giants. This is in fact regarding his neck injury, and according to Daniel, he thinks that, you know, it's not much to worry about. This is from ESPN.com. He says, "Yeah, I'll be cleared and ready to go," Jones said Monday during a conference call on the first day of the offseason workout program. The team and the quarterback have been steadfast about their belief that the neck injury Jones suffered late last year would not be a long-term problem. A source said that Jones was actually close to returning before the end of the season back in early January. I'll pause here before I continue. You guys know what I think about the neck injury. I personally think, and this was of course based off of that whistleblower, that the neck injury is more serious than they're letting on. We'll see when he comes back, and in fact we'll even see during the season how much it affected him. Sometimes, you know, injuries that aren't supposed to last long, you see them take place months later in the regular season. But if he really is clear to go, if he feels is good enough to go, and the team doctors, everybody's on the same page, I'm really happy, and two, let's get this ball rolling. You know, he's going to be in the best situation so far in his career. You need to perform, and you know, he could perform, so we'll see what's up with that. Continuing with the article, phase 1 of the offseason program is mostly strength and conditioning. Jones won't need to face any contact until the preseason in August, so there isn't any real necessity for him to be cleared for contact now or anytime soon. He's been training locally and at the team facility without any limitations for much of the offseason. A little bit down in the article, he actually responds to the comments where Mara said they've done everything they can to mess up Daniel since he's got here, which of course is true. This is what he said: I'm excited to get going here. I appreciate the support, but it's my job to do my role, to prepare this team, to prepare myself to play as well as I can, and to put this team in position to win games. So I take that responsibility very seriously, and that's what I'm focused on. I'm not gonna lie to you, every time Daniel Jones speaks, he's the consummate professional, man, much like Eli was. But Daniel, you can't help when you hear the kid speak. You can't help but say to yourself, I feel like I got a root for him. And, you know, I've never been a Daniel Jones hater or anything. I feel like I've been very fair with him. In fact, I've been called a Daniel Jones defender, a stan, a couple of times over the years in this channel. But it's moments like these where I'm like, he's taking responsibility, maybe in even a situation where he shouldn't necessarily be taking responsibility. And I'm just like, I want to see you succeed. But, you know, we all got to realize as Giants fans, even if you feel the current emotion that I do, which is just, you know, I want to support this guy as much as I can, you also got to realize this is it. Like, this is the last shot, and there's no more excuses. You know what I mean? There's nothing else that can be said in his defense. We just got to see if he could bring the team to a new height this season. That's what it is. Whether it's fortunate, unfortunate, fair, not fair, that's just what it is. And this leads directly into the next thing I want to talk about, which is his 5th-year option. The Giants have not made a decision yet. They have until May 2nd to make a decision. Same thing with Dexter Lawrence. I feel like Dexter Lawrence's 5th-year option is being swept under the rug. His is around $10 million. I feel like the Giants should give Dexter Lawrence his 5th-year option, because the defensive tackles that were free agents this year signed for a little bit more money than people expected. They were kind of expensive, I'm not gonna lie, and it kind of makes that 5th-year option look fair now, whereas before, $10 million for what Dexter was doing might have, you know, led the Giants to decline him. If they still decline him, I believe there's still a chance that we could extend him mid-season or even in the offseason. We'll see. Dexter Lawrence is kind of an underrated part of this defense, and I've been harping, you guys know, you watch the channel, the streams, the videos, you know, I've been harping on the fact that our defensive tackle group is getting weaker. What was even more surprising is Daniel Jones's 5th-year option is actually really, really expensive. It's $22.4 million for 2023. And this just kind of reinforces my stance on it, which is do not give him the 5th-year option. Let him go out there. Let him ball out. If he balls out, you extend him. Or, you know, you slap the franchise tag on him. See if the consistency is there, because that's also been a concern with Daniel. And if he balls out again, you give him the extension. I mean, it's a win-win situation in my opinion. If he goes out there, performs like a top 10 quarterback, lock him up. I'm pretty sure he'd want to come back. If he does not, you know, you move on. You got Tyrod for a year. We'll see what happens over there. But I'm very happy to see that Daniel's feeling better. I'm very happy to see that he's in there getting to know the offense sooner. I think more than anybody, it's probably Daniel and Saquon who this offense will be geared towards. It's them two who've had a lot of challenges on the offensive side of the ball over the past 3 to 4 years. And, you know, both of them are kind of in that prove-it situation, and they're now both probably in the best situations of their short careers thus far. So we hope that they all succeed. That's it for now, guys. Put your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Tune into the call-in show tonight, and I'm out. Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you for checking out my channel, The Hub, here on Giants YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you hear every time I put out a video. Like it, share, and subscribe, and I'm out.